Be me, 26-year-old woman. Always considered myself strong feminist. Believe women don't need men to protect or save us. I can take care of myself, thank you very much. Spent years telling men their protection was patronizing. Women aren't helpless damsels in distress needing rescue. Recently noticed men completely stopped offering protection. Should feel empowered by their recognition of female strength. Instead, feel vulnerable and abandoned in dangerous situations. Start realizing how much I relied on masculine protective instincts. First notice walking home alone from work late night. Dark parking garage, footsteps behind me, getting closer. Male coworker leaving same building sees my obvious fear. Used to be that guys would offer to walk with me. You sure you're okay getting to your car alone? Now he just waves goodbye and walks to his car. Leave me dealing with scary situation by myself. Feel terrified and alone in dangerous parking garage. Realize I actually want masculine protection despite feminist beliefs. Dating reveals complete absence of protective masculine behavior. Match with guy who seems nice and considerate. Meet at restaurant and sketchy part of town. Walk to parking lot after dinner. Homeless man approaches aggressively. Hey lady, got some money for me? Date continues walking to his car without checking on me. Used to be that men would position themselves between women and threats. Now I handle intimidating stranger while date ignores situation. Drive home shaken and confused about masculine protective withdrawal. Feel like I'm completely on my own in dangerous world. Visit friend Sarah, who shares similar frightening experience. Walking downtown with boyfriend when group of drunk men catcalls. Hey baby, come over here and talk to us. Boyfriend keeps walking without acknowledging harassment. Aren't you gonna say something to them? You can handle yourself. You don't need me fighting battles. Sarah feels abandoned and unprotected by her own boyfriend. Harassment escalates because no masculine authority present. Relationship feels less safe and secure without protective masculine presence. Family gathering reveals brother's protective instinct disappearance. Sketchy guy at party keeps making inappropriate comments to me. You look real good in that dress, sweetheart. Brother used to immediately step in during these situations. Now he continues his conversation, ignoring obvious harassment. Tommy, this guy is making me uncomfortable. Just tell him to stop if you don't like it. Feel like I lost masculine family protection system. Creepy behavior continues because no male consequence threatened. Attend cousin's wedding, where protective behavior completely absent. Drunk wedding guest getting increasingly aggressive with female guests, grabbing arms during dancing, making sexual comments. Male wedding guests completely ignore inappropriate behavior. Used to be that men would intervene when others acted inappropriately. Someone needs to talk to that guy about his behavior. Not our problem. Women can handle themselves. Female guests have to organize their own protection strategy. Masculine protective instincts completely absent from social situations. Workplace reveals same pattern during office holiday party. Coworker drinking too much and cornering female employees. Making sexual jokes and standing uncomfortably close. Male colleagues completely ignore obviously uncomfortable women. Used to be that professional men would step in. Hey buddy, maybe give the ladies some space. Now women expected to handle workplace harassment alone. Masculine professional protection completely eliminated from office culture. Feel like prey in professional environment without masculine protection. Late-night bar experience becomes genuinely frightening. Aggressive drunk guy won't leave me alone despite rejection. Come on, baby, just one dance with me. Several male patrons witness obvious harassment. Used to be that bar culture included masculine protection. Men would step in when women were being bothered. Now everyone minds their own business while I'm harassed. Bartender eventually intervenes, but other men stay silent. Social protection system completely eliminated by masculine withdrawal. Walking through college campus reveals protective instinct elimination. Obviously intoxicated fraternity guys bothering female students. Where you going, pretty lady? Party's just getting started. Male students walking past completely ignore harassment happening. Used to be that campus culture included masculine protective behavior. Leave her alone, man. She's not interested. Now, female students handle aggressive male behavior alone. Campus safety depends entirely on official security rather than social protection. Family friend shares story about daughter's experience. Men used to look out for young women in social situations. Describes how her daughter gets no masculine protection. Fraternity parties where inappropriate behavior goes unchecked. Male peers ignore when women are obviously uncomfortable. Traditional masculine protective culture completely disappeared from social life. Young women navigating dangerous situations without masculine backup. Parental concern about daughter's safety in unprotected social environment. Visit elderly neighbor who notices community protection changes. Men used to watch out for women in neighborhood. Describes how her late husband organized neighborhood safety. Men would check on single women and elderly residents. Current male neighbors ignore obvious safety concerns. Young men today don't feel responsible for women's safety. Community protection network completely eliminated by masculine withdrawal. Elderly women feel vulnerable without traditional masculine community protection. Research workplace harassment statistics and discover concerning trends. Women reporting harassment, but male colleagues not intervening. Bystander intervention programs necessary because men won't act naturally. Masculine protective instincts eliminated through harassment training. Not your responsibility to police other men's behavior. Workplace safety depends on HR rather than masculine protection. Professional environment feels more dangerous without masculine protective presence. Dating app conversations reveal masculine protective withdrawal. Match with construction worker who seems traditional. Share concern about meeting strangers through dating apps. Always nervous about meeting guys I don't know. Expect reassurance and protective attitude about safety. Yeah, you should probably be careful about that. No offer to meet in safe location or provide protection. Masculine protective leadership completely absent from modern dating. Feel more vulnerable dating without traditional masculine safety consideration. Friend's divorce reveals protective behavior, disappearance during marriage. He never made me feel safe or protected. Describes how husband ignored obvious threats to family security. Home break-in, where husband hid while she called police. Said it wasn't worth risking his life over property. Traditional masculine protective role completely abandoned during actual danger. Divorce partly motivated by feeling unprotected and vulnerable. Marriage without masculine protection feels like living with roommate. Nephew's high school reveals protective culture elimination. Female students harassed by male classmates without intervention. Boys will be boys, replaced with girls need to handle themselves. Young men taught that protecting women is sexist behavior. Teenage girls dealing with aggressive male behavior alone. Traditional masculine protective culture skipped entire generation. Educational environment. Eliminating masculine protective instincts through social messaging. Attends self-defense class where instructor explains cultural changes. Women signing up because men no longer provide protection. Describes how traditional masculine protective behavior disappeared. Men taught that protection implies female weakness. Self-defense industry growing because masculine protection eliminated. Women forced to provide own physical protection. Traditional gender protective cooperation replaced by individual preparation. Visit police station where officer explains crime trend changes. Domestic violence calls where male bystanders don't intervene. Describes how community protection networks disappeared. Used to be that neighbors would step in. Masculine protective community responsibility eliminated through cultural change. Women more vulnerable because social protection system collapsed. Law enforcement overwhelmed by cases that community used to handle. Brother finally explains his protective withdrawal directly. Learned that protecting women is actually sexist behavior. Describes college education about toxic masculinity. Being protective implies women can't handle themselves. Feminist professors said protection is form of control. Masculine protective instincts suppressed through academic messaging. Family protective behavior eliminated through educational social pressure. Online research reveals systematic masculine protective withdrawal. Men's forums discussing feminine protection as manipulation. Don't be Captain Save-A-Ho for women. Their safety isn't your responsibility anymore. Masculine protective instincts systematically eliminated through cultural messaging. Traditional protection redefined as toxic masculine behavior. Men taught that caring about female safety is problematic. Dating foreign guys reveals cultural difference in protection. European exchange student immediately concerned about my safety. I walk you to car, not safe alone. Protective behavior that feels natural and caring. American men learned that protection is patronizing behavior. International comparison reveals what was eliminated culturally. Foreign masculinity still includes protective instincts toward women. Realize personal responsibility for protective behavior elimination. Spent years criticizing masculine protective behavior as sexist. I don't need you to rescue me. Protective behavior treats women like children. Contributed to cultural messaging that eliminated masculine protection. Men learned that caring about female safety is unwelcome. Feminist ideology successfully eliminated masculine protective instincts. Understand that protection withdrawal is response to feminist criticism. Men learned that protective behavior is toxic masculinity. Caring about female safety redefined as patriarchal control. Masculine protective instincts eliminated through social pressure. Traditional protection redefined as oppressive rather than caring. Men protecting themselves from accusations by withdrawing protection. 3 months of observation reveals systematic protection withdrawal. Masculine protective behavior completely eliminated from culture. Not cruelty, but learned indifference to female safety. Men treating women's safety as individual responsibility. Traditional protective instincts redirected away from women. Masculine protection culturally extinct through feminist messaging. Start questioning whether elimination of protection was wise. Achieved goal of proving female independence, but lost masculine protective safety net completely. Feel vulnerable and alone in genuinely dangerous situations. Female strength doesn't eliminate actual physical threats. Political victory creating real safety consequences. Discover that men still protect things they value. Passionate about protecting property, careers, male friends. Protective capacity redirected away from women completely. Not lack of protective instinct, but selective application. Masculine protection reserved for non-feminine interests. Emotional and physical protection withdrawn from women specifically. Learn that traditional masculine protection is culturally dead. Men protecting women redefined as toxic masculine behavior. Protective instincts eliminated through feminist education campaigns. Feminine safety vulnerability no longer inspiring masculine response. Traditional gender protective cooperation completely eliminated. Masculine protective leadership classified as oppressive patriarchal behavior. Realize wanting both independence and protection simultaneously. Criticized masculine protection while secretly needing the safety net. Men adapted to feminist messaging by withdrawing protection. Getting exactly what feminist ideology demanded about protective behavior, safety consequences feeling like punishment for political beliefs. Feminist victory creating feminine vulnerability and isolation. Understand that masculine protective withdrawal is rational response. Protecting women became politically problematic and dangerous. Men avoiding accusations by eliminating protective behavior. Traditional masculine protection, too. Socially risky. Now, feminist success creating female safety, vulnerability. Political correctness eliminating protective gender cooperation. Attend women's safety workshop where reality becomes clear. Women more vulnerable now than in previous generations. Discover crime statistics showing increased female victimization. Traditional community protection networks completely disappeared. Masculine protective culture eliminated through feminist activism. Women forced to provide individual protection solutions. Collective safety replaced by individual vulnerability. 6 months later, still struggling with safety anxiety. Men in life polite but completely unprotective. Feminine safety needs no longer masculine concern. Traditional protection system culturally eliminated forever. Feel politically victorious but physically vulnerable. Feminist goals achieved through masculine protective withdrawal. Begin understanding that protection requires masculine investment. Men withdraw protection when it becomes political liability. Feminine safety needs require masculine protective labor. Feminist criticism eliminated masculine willingness to provide protection. Getting independence but losing safety. Partnership with men. Political equality purchased with protective relationship elimination. Learned that men stopped protecting because protection became problematic. Traditional masculine protective behavior redefined as toxic control. Feminine vulnerability no longer inspiring masculine protective response. Political correctness eliminating protective gender cooperation completely. Equality achieved through masculine protective disengagement from women. Realize devastating truth about modern gender protection dynamics. Men protective of each other, but not women. Feminine safety needs abandoned by masculine protective instincts. Traditional protective partnership replaced by individual safety responsibility. Feminist victory creating widespread feminine vulnerability. Getting political equality but losing protective connection with masculinity. Understand that feminist success came with unintended safety consequences. Eliminated masculine protection while increasing female vulnerability. Men learned that protecting women is politically dangerous behavior. Safety needs met with practiced indifference for masculine self-protection. Traditional masculine protective investment culturally extinct through activism. Getting exactly what feminist ideology demanded, but panicking about outcome. Feel terrified. Realizing personal responsibility for protection, elimination. Spent years convincing men that protection was oppressive. Eliminated safety behaviors that kept women secure. Traditional masculine protection died through feminist criticism. Men learned to ignore female vulnerability through social education. Political victory, creating personal safety crisis and genuine panic.